All right, man. Welcome to Grue, and thank you so much for taking time and coming on, man. I appreciate it.
I'd like to thank you for having me.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you
Thanks.
very much.
You got it. You got it. So the first thing I want to ask you basically is simple question right off the bat is what drew you to love this amazing sport? Like, how did you get to love pro wrestling?
Hmm. Well, the essence of competition has always been something that's been in my DNA. And I don't think there's no other form of competition such as this. You know, reason why I say that is because there's so much that goes into this competition. It's not just fighting. There's an art of storytelling. There's an art of creating long-term memories for people that they can remember for a long time. And also that there's an aspect to deliver and you can pull something from the audience. The audience will give you everything that you need as far as your emotion wise to make everything go great. So I like that more than anything in this business.
You're absolutely right. Like wrestling is definitely fun, you know, anyone who's a wrestling fan is in it for the long haul.
Yes, and I'm in it for the long haul. The very, very, very long haul.
Definitely. And who are some of the guys like you loved watching, like guys who in inspired your wrestling style?
Oh, that's a good question. I grew up watching people like Shawn Michaels, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. And he's always at the top of my list because of the in-ring that he brung, his style. He wasn't always the biggest guy in the match, but he had the biggest heart. He
Yeah, definitely.
captivated the people, and I always liked everything that he did in the ring. One of my other favorites will have to be RVD, Rob Van Dam. I mean, everywhere you look nowadays, you see everybody's doing something that RVD contributed to the game. You can't go nowhere without seeing none of that. So that was something that those two mixed together. And of course, I love Sting.
Oh
Sting
yeah.
was always one of my top guys also. What he brought to the business as far as the mystique and the character and the different characters as far as that he played over his career. He's another one of my favorites. So you mix those three together, with me involved, you got Draven the Blackbird King.
Damn, I could definitely see it now. Like now that you mention like Sean and Rob Van Dam, I definitely see like your your styles and Sting, of course, with the whole mystique and yeah, I definitely see that.
Thank you. Yes.
And where did you wind up training at? Like who were some of the guys that trained you?
Oh well, I originally trained at CZW Combat Zone Wrestling.
Yeah.
I trained under DJ Hyde. One of my main trainers there was Gabby Gilbert.
Oh
Who's a
yeah.
20-year veteran, Hall of Famer. I trained under her. She trained and mentored me a lot. Actually, she's still my trainer, coach, and mentor. I also trained under Aaron Ash. He's the current CZW champion right now. He trained me a lot, taught me a lot of things. Um, Deshaun Pratt, he was down there helping me out. So in CZW was a whole collage of different trainers because we have 4 days out class throughout the week, and each day they change different trainers. So like I
Oh.
said, yeah, so it gave you a mix of different people to learn from. Like I said, Tarzan Duran, he came down and trained there a few times, well, plenty of times, and he taught me a lot of stuff. Just so much people just came through there and just helped me out. So I'm blessed that I was in a good company at that time and in good hands of people to train me.
Oh yeah, definitely for sure. I mean that school has been known for years, and of course the wrestling place like they've been doing it, wow, for like over 20 years or something like that. I
Yeah,
think it is.
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
fortunate enough to come from out of that school, and represent myself on the independent scene and everything that they taught me and other places that I went and learned from also. I just try to put it all together to create my style in the ring.
Nice, nice. And how long did it take like to get to get used to everything, like to like when you took your first bump and running the ropes for the first time, and you know how that stings when you're running the ropes, and how long did it take you to get used to everything with the bumps, the rope burns, and everything else you learned?
Or to be honest with you, I'm not going to sound too cocky or anything. I'm just going to be totally honest.
Yeah.
It didn't take me long, with the rope burns and everything and the stinging of running the ropes. I was pretty much expecting that. You
All
know,
right.
like growing up, I was always very active. I was always athletic, running, jumping, playing in parks, backflipping, doing all that type of stuff. So
Nice.
me transitioning that into the ring, it wasn't a hard transition. I have the ability to like once somebody showed me something, I can do it. Maybe take like one or twice or two times, but I can grab it like that. So once they showed me how to run the ropes, I was running the ropes. It
Nice.
took me a while to get the format of bumping. I wasn't
Yeah.
afraid of that, but I had to get the correct format down on how to properly take a bump. So once I got that down pat and the drills and everything that they started teaching me, I was grasping and learning fast.
Nice. Nice.
I had a
And what,
goal. I didn't want to wait. I didn't want to take like I didn't want to like be stuck on one thing for a long time. My whole goal was to
true.
grasp anything that they teach me and grasp it fast. And like I said, with the different trainers that we had each day throughout the week, it made it better because one person taught you one thing, the next day somebody will come in and teach you something else. And you just had the opportunity to suck in everything that they was teaching you. And at the end of the week was Thursday. That was DJ Hyde's day. And he come
Oh,
in with the deck of cards drill. He come in with the elite stuff to teach you.
oh
And
wow.
they told me my first week there to not take the elite class, but by my second week, I snuck in and I've been going ever since. Like I said, I didn't want to wait. I had to sneak in. I came there on a Thursday. I just hid in the back. And then once everybody started running drills, I just blended in and they seen that I can keep up with everybody and I was going ever since.
That is amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what was like the first match you ever had? Like as soon as you were done training and stuff, like what was the first match you were put in?
Oh wow! Well, I like to contribute special thanks to my first match being put together by Gabby Gilbert.
Yeah.
She helped me out a lot with that. After during 6 months of training, I started in June. By like December, she had made some connects at a great company out in Delaware called DCW.
Hmm.
She made some connects with them, and she selected like a few of her students, me and a few more other guys, and she crossed that bridge from CZW to DCW and allowed us to work over there. So they gave me actually my first match, the first time I ever came out in front of a crowd of people, the first time I ever heard people cheer my name. The first time I ever walked down to the ring and hopped in. It wasn't a one-on-one match. It was more like a Royal Rumble type thing. But
Oh,
that was
okay.
my first time getting in the ring, and I had a great time. And I've been going back. I've been going with DCW ever since. I never stopped going there. So I'm still a part of the active roster. Yep.
Oh, wow, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, yeah, great company working for him. I love working and wrestling with DCW.
Sweet, sweet. And how did you come up with your whole thing, like the name of Draven the Blackbird? Like how'd you think of the name and come up with it and everything?
Okay. Well, before I actually took in-ring training, that was one of the first things that I wanted to get for myself. And a lot of people would tell you like get the training down pack first and find out where you want to do in the business. But I kind of went another angle. I wanted to get a character established first. Because
Yeah.
once I knew that I had a character established, I can get the athletic parts down. And I didn't want to come in later once I got the athletic part down and got comfortable with things. Now I had to come up with a character.
That's
So
true.
I created a Draven the Blackbird King from just like it came like in my head, like literally in my head, and I would just have like ideas. I started looking around, putting the pieces together. This is just one version, one variation of Draven the Blackbird King. You know, this version came a little later. This wasn't the original version. My original
Mhm.
version is me with the Blackbird mask. You know, I got the cane and everything like that. So that's the original Draven the Blackbird King. You know, King of the Blackbirds. You know, that's the Ravens and the Crows. I'm the King of the Blackbirds. Caw-caw! You know, when I put that out there, everybody loved that. You know, and that's just where I started at with that first. It kind of was more so like on the character of the Crow a little bit, like the movie. But I
I
kind of went.
love that movie.
Oh, it's a classic. It's a classic. One of my favorite movies of all time. But I
Same,
didn't.
same.
Yeah, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to like really ride too much in that lane because you know Brandon Lee did the best he can do with that character, and still to this day that character is unmatched. Like somebody
Oh my
trying to touch
God,
that
hands
character,
down,
you
hands
know.
down.
And Sting came along and he touched on that character and he did what he can do. So I told myself if I had to step in that lane to be a part of that lineage, I want to add to that to create it more and keep it going longer, but I wanted to do my own touch. So my whole
Mm.
thing is I'm more so representative of the black bird itself, the
Yeah,
crow, the black
yeah.
bird, you know, the raven, the crow. So I kind of pull emphasis from that, and that's where I build my whole thing around, you know, with the athletics that I do in the ring, the high flying, and the different styles that I accumulate in there. I put it into that character, and that's how it came together, you know, and I've built up more and more. Yeah.
Sweet man. Look, I absolutely love that movie, The Crow. Like that. Oh my God. Like what a movie that is. Brandon Lee was incredible. And
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that movie, like it was made in like what was it, like 98, 97,
Yeah,
and
around
it
that mark, around that mark. Yep.
yeah, and this movie inspired so many people generation after generation because the the Eric Draven character is something that everyone could relate to.
Right, right, exactly. And as you can see, my name is Draven, the
Yeah,
Blackbird King. So I tied my emphasis in that too. So if you had to all stand us all in a room, you would see Brandon Lee's the Crow. Of course, you would see Sting, and then you would see me. And I think that each one of us will have our individuality, but we will
yeah,
all be to the same goal, but we'll have our individuality. So you know, I know it's a lot of fan base that's heavy with that. And even as I travel through the Indies, I see representatives of people who do the similar same thing, like represent the Crow. And I'm looking, I'm like, wow, you know, that's pretty cool. And that's what
yeah.
drawn me to say, okay, let me step it up a little bit more. Let me have different variations. And that's where this was born at. This
I
is more
love.
so represent of the king. You know,
Yeah.
when I'm in this form, I'm the king. You know, as you can see, I got the crown, I got the gold mask and everything. And the first time I put this character out like fully was at a SuperKrazee professional wrestling, and this is
Oh
what I
yeah,
wrestle under.
that's a great
Yeah,
place.
yeah, yeah. One of my favorite places to work at. I love working SuperKrazee. It's like it's so awesome there. So when you see me at SuperKrazee, this is what you get.
Nice, nice. And how did you get like all these different masks and stuff? Like, did you know what you wanted to wear to the ring, or was it something like you just went on online and said, "Oh, this is awesome. This could fit my character well."
It was a little bit mix of both of those. You know, at first, like I said, with me, everything starts with a vision. I
Yeah.
had the vision first, and like when I created the Blackbird King character with the Raven mask, you know,
Hmm.
I saw that mask and I was like, wow, that's it right there. It just clicked, like that's it. And I just
Nice.
put everything else around that. With this right here, this took a little bit more vision. Everything that you see right here was straight in the head. I saw this whole thing in my head, and I was like, yeah, I want to roll with this. And it just so happened when I went out to start putting the pieces together, it was like it was already right there. You know, it was right
Hmm.
there. So all I had to do was collect what I seen and put it in my head. I mean, put it on, and it actually just came to life. You know, that's just how that was.
Nice, man. Nice. And you definitely have like a mix of styles. Like you're just not like one. one style wrestler. Like you could mix it up and do everything from lucha to mat wrestling to brawling to hardcore. Like you could do it all. And how did you adapt to all those different wrestling styles?
Um, there's two things: just wanting to do it and then doing it. That was just for me. I wanted to do exactly just that. I didn't want to be in this industry and just be a one lane person. As me being in the industry my first year, actually having wrestling matches, I actually seen a lot that I saw, and I was just like, okay, if I want to make a name for myself and set myself apart from everybody else, I have to be able to do this. I have to be able to do that. I have to be able to do this and that and this. And once I seen all the opportunities that of different styles that was out there, it was like a buffet to pick what you want. So, I always been a fan of Lucha. Always been a fan. Rey
I love
Mysterio.
that style.
I love that style. Juventud Guerrero, all those Lucha guys. That's classic Lucha guys. I grew up watching. That was the first style that I took on, and I didn't know too much about it but from what I saw on TV. So thankfully, I was paired up with one of the CZW trainers at that time, who was coming down on a Wednesday. It was Tarzan Duran. He
Okay.
kind of yeah, he kind of like taught me the basics of lucha, and
Um,
yeah, he taught me a lot of lucha basics and stuff that I learned of my lucha I got from him. And I'm fortunate to be in that position. So and the rest of the stuff I'm still learning more. I'm not at the peak of my lucha. I'm still learning as I go along, but I got enough to get me through and enough to survive in the lucha match and everything. So I big up and I credit him for that because he added that layer to me on that.
nice.
Yeah, also, I got to big up Tarzan again also because he introduced me to the hardcore deathmatch scene.
Oh,
My
all right.
Yeah, he took me down to POR wrestling down in Virginia. He took me down there, and my first time going down there, I was like, "What the hell is this?" Like, I never seen nothing like that in my life. In real life, I seen it on TV, but in real life, it was a whole nother aspect.
Yeah.
Guys was bleeding all over the place, killing each other with light tubes, and I'm like, okay, I had to hype myself up, and I got into it, and I was hooked. I was like, this is a whole nother style. Like
It is.
this is the real deal right here. This ain't no joke. Like, and when I got into it, I've been going ever since, and I've been into it. X brand wrestling. I had my a death match there that I did. It was a great match that I had
Oh,
there.
nice.
See a stream. That was a great match I had there. I'm looking forward to working with them again in the future. And I just got hooked onto it. I was already training with the mat wrestling style at CZW and taking other trainers there. So that's already three styles right there. And I started putting the high flying into it. And next thing you know, I had a mix of styles. And I was like, okay, I think I got something I can roll with right now.
Nice, nice. And like, you said like when you were there, you see all these guys like bleeding everywhere and basically like killing one another, and you're sitting here saying, "Oh my God, I have to do this." Like how do you psych yourself up like that to know that you're about to be like bleeding all over the ring? Because let's face it, like a death match isn't for everybody, and a
Right.
lot of people are actually scared to go in the ring and do those kind of matches.
Yeah, like when I first went down POR, I just did like the owner of the company wanted me to do like regular wrestling matches. He was like, when your segment come on, you're just gonna be the person that wrestled down there. So my first couple matches down there, I was just doing pure wrestling, staying away from the deathmatch stuff. But I was still in the mix of it and watching and learning. My
Yeah.
official first death match came from X Brand Wrestling. They reached out to me. They saw me do a podcast last year, and I was saying that I wanted to work at CZW, being so I'm training there and do a death match there and everything like that. So they remembered that and they reached out to me. Now I'm gonna get to the part about how you prepare for it mentally. The answer is you can't. There's no way that you can prepare for that. It's just like somebody saying you're going to get in a car crash and ride down the
Mhm.
street for 70 miles per hour and hit a wall. There's no way you
Mhm.
can. There's no way you can prepare for that. So they hit me up on like a Tuesday or Wednesday, if I remember correctly, and they asked me do I want to jump in a death match because I was taking the place of somebody else that wasn't available. So I was like, yeah,
Um,
yeah. I was like, yeah, I'm down for that. I'll do that. And when I hung up the phone, I'm like, okay, what did I just agree to right here? Like, then my phone started getting all these notifications from X brand, like, oh, what type of weapons you want to work with? I'm like, whoa, whoa,
oh,
whoa, hold up, let me process this. So, truth of the matter is, I didn't get no sleep for like 2 days because
I'm sure.
I didn't want to relax my body. I was like, I gotta get pumped up for this. I'm looking for inspiration. I'm trying to get myself mad. I couldn't find it, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you do this? So I remember what I did was what helped me was people saying like, you're not ready for a death match. And I used that
Mm,
to say, okay, this is my time to show people that I can do that. And I found that thought.
proven wrong.
From that thought, once I went in there, I was ready to go. I was like, let's go. I just want to show everybody that I can do this and that I can get my feet in the door and I got the heart to do this, and it turned out to be one of my best matches I had so far.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a great match. So it was just to psych myself up to just say, yeah, you could do this. You could do this. The world is watching and you can do this. And X Brand gave me that platform and I delivered.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, yeah, because man, like when you watch it, like those death matches are like absolutely brutal. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's an atmosphere that you got to have that warrior in you to say it's not for everybody. It's not for
Yeah,
everybody.
no, exactly.
It's not for everybody. And I respect the people that want to do what they do and stay away from it because I was one of those people at one time. And I love deathmatch wrestling. I love the community. I love the brothers and sisters that do it behind the scenes and the companies. And I'm gonna be a part of that also. I mean, I don't stick to that 24/7 all the time
Yeah,
because I do other stuff like other wrestling and everything like that. And that's where I mainly want to go. But just to say when I look back on my legacy, when I look back on my career, however long that be, I can say, well, I did that. I don't have to be like, wow, I wish I would have tried that, so I can look back
sure.
and say, yeah, I did that.
And I was going through your page and I saw like you actually got to meet like two legends in the sport, Ric Flair and Tony Atlas. And how was like that experience like to meet like these two legends in the wrestling game?
Wow, that's a good question. I thank you for asking that. You're the first person to ask me that. Actually, I got to meet those guys on the same day. That
Oh my
was the
God.
same day.
Okay.
Yeah. They had a convention in Philly at the ECW Arena 2300 building, and
Hmm.
I was invited by somebody that had their own table there, and they said you can come on out. What I'm saying, just contact me when you get to the door, and I'll escort you back there. And when I went, I didn't even know like Flair was there or anything like that because I was headed to another show after the convention. So once I saw the Flair booth over there, like he had his own little section
Oh,
separated from everybody, and
of course, it's Flair.
yeah, it's Flair exactly. He had his own little thing going on. So I was like, "Who's over there in that booth?" And it was like, "Oh, that's Ric Flair." And I'm like, "Oh," I just walked over there, and he had like bodyguards come out, like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" Like, you got tickets to see him? I'm like, "Nah," and it cost me a little change to go see him and everything like that. But I had the money on me, so. And a couple people was like, you gonna pay to see Flair? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna pay to see Flair. It's like once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah.
So I paid my ticket. Luckily, the line wasn't long. As soon as I went around there, he was like, "Come on in." And I went over there and I talked to him, and we had like a good 2 3 minute conversation. And I told him I'm a worker in the business, and I'm a huge follower of his work and his craft. And I thanked him for everything that he contributed to the business. I actually had a picture with me because I had my working bag with me that I traveled. Like I said, I was going to another show, so I pulled out a picture. And one of the things I'm always take with me in this business that when I showed him my character, he was like, "Wow, that's badass, man. That's a badass
Nice.
character." So I was like, "Yeah, thank you." And he was like, gave me some advice and told me some things that I can take with me for jewels from down the road. And we took the picture, and that's a moment that I'll always remember. I'll keep that with me forever. And later on in that evening, I saw Tony Atlas sitting over there. He was signing autographs and everything like that. And I was just watching 2 days before the Dark Side of the Ring with Tony Atlas on there.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh, okay, right there. So I went up to him. I introduced myself. I shook his hand. I told him I'm a great fan of his work and everything like that. And then we just hit it off. Like he reminded me like an uncle, like somebody that like a family member. We just started talking. We wasn't even
Great.
talking wrestling. We were just talking regular stuff. And he's a down to earth guy, very cool. And we told me some stuff and advice that I can keep in my head and always travel through the business. And told me some things to watch out for and how to conduct myself and everything. And we shook hands and took a picture. And there's two great moments that I always cherish. Yeah, meeting those two guys, that was great.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Like just the experience that you had, like talking to both Flair and Tony. That's amazing.
Right, right, yeah. Two of my great experience, and that's why I love professional wrestling because of the adventures. I call those like adventures, the adventures that it takes you on, and you never know what tomorrow brings in this business. Like what
Right.
you're gonna do, who you're gonna bump into, who you're gonna meet. I've been to shows and I've just seen people, and I'm like, oh wow, like this would never happen to me in my normal life. So. That's why I love professional wrestling. I took it on full time, and this is something I'm gonna be doing, Lord's willing, for as long as I can. And I just want to add to my legacy to this culture and to this business, and give people the experience of me, just like they gave people the experience of them.
Makes sense. Yes.
Yeah.
And out of all the people you fought so far, who do you think has been like the toughest guy, the toughest opponent you stepped in the ring with?
Hmm. Good question. Good question. I have some few pretty tough opponents. Ah, I say as of right now, my toughest opponent probably my toughest opponent was Anthony Gangon.
Oh yeah,
Anthony,
okay.
yeah, that was one of my toughest opponents. I had the privilege of wrestling him, and working with him when I was down at CZW. I didn't even know I was going to work him. It just popped up, and I'm like, wow, okay. And he got like the psycho character, and then Draven the
Yeah.
Blackbird King, so it just gelled real well together. But he took me to school. And I'm not ashamed to say it. Like I learned on the job with him. He took me to school. It was a learning lesson in the ring. He like beat the crap out of me, and I was just like, wow. Like, I was defending myself. I was fighting. I was getting stuff off on him, but at the same time, he's at another level. Like, I was just like, okay, I didn't expect that. So. Yeah, that was one of my toughest matches to date so far was Anthony Gangon, and I would do
Oh,
it all over again because it was a learning experience, and I learned so much after that. After the match, we shook hands. He told me, gave me some pointers and things like that he would want to see from me more down the ring, and he was like, "You keep going where you're going, you're going to be good. You're going to be good." So that was one of
nice.
my toughest opponents, and yeah, he's a great guy. Not too much of a good guy. Like you can trust him and everything, because he will put you to sleep. But as far as professional wrestling, he's a great guy. One of the best out there on the indie scene. So yeah, I would say Anthony Gangon.
Okay, okay. And I see you have an action figure too. Like how did that come about?
Oh man, like I said earlier, the adventures of professional wrestling. You never know what to expect. You meet so many people in this business, and I was fortunate to bump into my guy who created the action figure, JAS Custom Designs. I bumped into him at a SuperKrazee show. I was just sitting there after I had my match at the merch table. I looked over to my left. I seen action figures. I'm like, "Yo, you make action figures?" And he was like, "Yeah." So we exchanged information. I sent him my stuff, and next thing you know, it was like happened so fast. I'm like, wow. He sent me the first one, and I was just like, okay. Then I was like, oh, can you do this or can you do that? And I sent him this model of myself with the
Oh,
gold
nice.
face and the crown, and he was like, yeah, whatever you send, we can do it. So I'm like, okay. So we still got more business that we're working on. I'm working on him. Next he's gonna be working on my Lucha character, Dre Lucha. So he got to get the mask and everything like that, and I'll have that version coming out soon too. So far it's been good. Yeah, yeah. I'm fortunate to say I got my own action figure. Like that was something that I always wanted since a kid. So I'm glad I got that.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Wow. And later this month, you're part of the a big show, the Gremlin show that you're doing, and Zilla is on there too. And who are you fighting on that?
Oh, thanks for bringing that up. Well, in June, well, since you bring that up, I might as well. I'm going to use this right now for a promo that I'm supposed to make for that show. So here you go, Yaya. June 21st in Hamilton, New Jersey. It'll be Gremlin House Wrestling taking over the whole state. And we're going to hit them down with the Gotham City Slam. That's going to be a showcase that's going to be off the wall. The card is going to be phenomenal. So much great talent on there. And as you just said, Zilla Fatu will be in the building that night. We're going to hold it down. The match that I'm a part of is called the Joker Wilds Rumble match. It's going to be 10 men in the ring, and we all got the opportunity to compete for the number one contender match, and that's to go on and face Holker the Hybrid King, who's the Gremlin House World Wrestling Heavyweight Champion right now. So I'm not going to sit here and boast and brag and say that I'm going to go in there and toss out everybody, because that's a match that's designed by chance. If I get the chance and the opportunity to be the last person standing in that ring, then I'm going to go on to be number one contender and fight Hulk of the Hybrid King. But first, we got to get through that part. So I looked at the opponents that they got down there. They called them talent from all over the place, all over America, all over the world, and it's going to be an interesting time. I'm just honored and privileged to be amongst those great talents in that match to compete and showcase what I bring to the table. So if I'm end up throwing everybody over and I'm that last man in the ring, well, then it's going to be, two kings for the title. It's only going to be one title on the line, but it's only going to be one winner. And can you imagine that? Hoka Hybrid King versus Draven the Blackbird King. Two kings in a match.
Exactly.
He's sitting right now at the top of the game. He's controlling the chessboard, but I'm moving my way through the pieces, and hopefully I can get to a checkmate. So I'm looking forward to that, and if we get to that, that'll be good. So yeah, June 21st, Gotham City Slam, Gremlin House Wrestling. We taking over. Godzilla Fight 2 in the house. We're teaming up with BG Wang, and that's gonna be an awesome match. Got the main event, Hoka Hybrid King. He's in the main event. We got Tarzan Duran. He's gonna be in a last man standing match. That card is gonna be crazy. We got Mother Endless on the card. She's taking on Nair, Irene Robles. I mean, it's just gonna be a great match. Great matches. So many matches. So if you're in the Hamilton area on June 21st, come check out Gremlin House Wrestling. You can get your tickets at gremlinhouse.com. That's gremlinhouse.com. And it's going to be a great show. You don't want to miss that. Trust me.
I love it. That was awesome. That was awesome. And I always ask my guests this when I have them on. I'm a huge horror movie guy. So are there any horror films that you like?
Oh, yeah. Michael Myers. My favorite
Uh,
horror guy is Mike Myers, Mike Myers. All of them. No matter which one it is, all of them. The Halloween series is my favorite horror movies. When Halloween come around, that's exactly what you can catch me in the house watching Halloween. So I love when they just run them all through the marathons. I'm watching
yeah.
them all. Yeah, so I'm a big Halloween fan. I love Michael Myers. It's my favorite horror movie.
Nice, nice. And if you were gonna do a karaoke song, what do you think the king would sing?
Hmm. That's a good question. What would the king sing? Okay. Um, oh, well, if I had to do a karaoke song, I would have to probably take Triple H on his song, Bow Down to the King. I have to
Like
probably,
it.
I have to use Triple H one right there.
I
So,
like it.
yeah, I have to get the karaoke machine, type in Lemmy, give me Lemmy's record, the song right there, and I'm just going to run with that whole song right there. Yep. Long as it got the words right there, I can't mess it up. I can read, so I'll get that down pat. So yeah, I'm going to take Triple H song right there. I think that'll be fitting for the king.
I like it. I like it. And is there anything coming up for you that you would like to plug? Anything coming
Oh
up for
yeah,
you? Anything you're doing?
yeah. This Saturday coming up, I got DCW. We're going to be at the Comic Con down in Dover, Delaware. My opponent will be Kaz, the man Lee. I'll be taking him on the 14th of this Saturday. That's going to be a great match. After that, of course, the following week, the 21st, we just discussed, we got Gremlin House Wrestling in Hamilton, New Jersey. I'll be a part of that 10-man Joker Wild Rumble match. Right after that, the following week, which will be the 27th, I'm at SuperKrazee Professional Wrestling. That just got announced to me 2 days ago that I'll be inside that match. Inner Demon 7. That's going to be great. I'll be taking on Junie Underwood. So yeah, that's going to be a great match right there. The 28th, I'll be back again at DCW in Delaware for Sweet Summer Nights. And then after that, the 29th, I'll be headed down to POR hardcore wrestling, do some deathmatch wrestling down there. So I'm pretty much got a busy schedule coming up with these 5 matches, and I'm just trying to stay
Right.
sharp, work out in the gym, and stay ready for that.
Damn, okay. You have quite a busy month.
Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna be moving around a lot, but I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to I'm looking forward to each opportunity though.
Nice. And the last thing I'll ask you is where can fans follow you at?
Sure. You can follow me on Facebook at Draven. That's Draven, space TBC, on Facebook.com, and you can follow me on Instagram at TBC Drave. That's TBC Drave for Instagram. I'm also on X or Twitter, whatever you call it, but I don't really post on there too much. But you can follow me on that at Draven TBC .x.com also. So that's the social media platforms you can find me on, and I'm always got content available. My next match is coming out. Also, you can check out blackbirdapparel.bigcartel.com, and you can get you some Draven apparel, Draven t-shirts. You can get whatever you want. I got fitness outfits for the ladies. I got sneakers. I got iPhone cases. I got doggy bowls.
Damn.
Whatever you want, I got it on there. So that's blackbirdapparel.bigcartel.com, and you can pretty sure find something that you like on there.
Damn, okay. You definitely got it going with that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, I want to thank you so much for taking time and doing this. It was very nice chatting. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you for having me on here. Hope to come back again once I got some more bigger stuff going on. And reach out to me if you ever want me to come back. I'm always with it. Thank you for having the King on your show. It was great. I appreciate it.
Of course, bud. Of course. We'll definitely have an amazing day.
You too. Thank you. Draven the Blackbird King.